What does it take to do the impossible? What does it take to achieve paradigm-shifting, never-seen-before breakthroughs?
Again, I've worked with thousands and thousands of addicts. I've never met one in my entire life who said, I feel enough. But many who said, I don't feel enough. You know, I'm trying to fill this emptiness inside. You can't fix an emotional pain with stuff. I mean, obviously we think we can. We shop and buy stuff to fill up this pain. But it doesn't work. You have to recognize that what lies beneath self-hatred, self-sabotage, procrastination, and so many more things is this inner feeling, I'm not enough.
Because if you got $1 billion and every day you live pissed off and frustrated, the quality of your life is called pissed off and frustrated. But if you have nothing, but you're euphorically grateful for whatever you have, you're the richest person that you're going to know.
It is a state of consciousness known to researchers as flow. Now, you may know flow by other names, right? You may call it runner's high or being in the zone. If you happen to play basketball, you might call it being unconscious. If you're a beatnik jazz musician, you're being in the pocket. If you do stand-up comedy, you're in the forever box. Flow is a technical term. As I mentioned earlier, it is technically defined as an optimal state of consciousness, one where we feel our best and we perform our best.
Who's counting on you to be at your best today? Like, who's watching you all the time that you need to be able to be a good role model for? So you could go there and introduce a little bit of pain if that pain serves you to be able to level up your life, right? And you use it intelligently.
The repetition of thinking and feeling and thinking caused me to feel guilt, and I don't even know it's guilt, it just feels like me. It's just, I'm used to the same chemical continuity. Now, the moment they decided to change, anytime you decide to change and change anything about yourself, get ready, because it's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to leave the known, you're going to leave the familiar, and you're going to step into the unknown.
So here's my advice to you, expect amazing things then. If what is expected tends to be realized, expect the best. Expect love and success and an amazing life, because you know what? It will probably be realized really fast if you expect it.
When you start seeing that somebody else can do it, and you see they really did, you start to believe, you start to get certain. And then the fourth thing I tell people is it's massive action and constantly change your approach, and then it's find somebody worse off than you are and help them. Because when you do that, it gets you out of yourself.
When I'm at my best, I'm in this state, and every idea, every action, every decision flows seamlessly, perfectly, effortlessly from the last. So flow is actually a phenomenological description. It's how the state makes us feel.
Some people are super happy being unhappy. So then they would rather cling to their suffering than take a chance in possibility. So these people said, I really have nothing to lose, right? So then they said, I'm willing to be uncomfortable and be in the unknown. And it turns out that's the perfect place to create from. So when the body is conditioned to become the mind, then to change is to be greater than the body.
You know, Shakespeare said, from pain comes art. And it is true that people who've had a blissful life can't write about pain.
It's not your connections and network. It's not your education levels. Everybody has different, right, external. But the one thing that is constant is we all have what? 24 hours in a day. And so if you had, imagine every single morning your bank account, you all automatically, every morning when you wake up, there's extra $86,400 in there. And here's the thing, at midnight, whatever you didn't invest and use is gone. And that's how I look at time.
We all have 4 aspirations our whole life. Our being goals, like who we want to be as a person and our desire to be congruent with that. Our relating goals, how we want to treat other people and show up with other people. Our creation goals, the things that we want to create, the things that we want to contribute, like I want to do something. And then our growth goals, how we want to grow along the way.
We all have degrees of pain. We get rejected, we get dumped, we get hurt, but you're supposed to get over the pain. Human beings are incredibly resilient and we are wired to recover from pain.
Right? We have 86,400 seconds in a day, and whatever you're not investing in it, into something for your happiness, for your health, for something that's going to outlast you, then we lose it every single day.
Nobody changes until they change their energy. And when you change your energy, you change your life.
I'm useless, I'm spectacular, I'm terrified, I'm delighted. And by the way, fear and excitement are exactly the same. You can be on a fun fair screaming your head off and going, oh, look at that wheel. Are they scared or excited? I don't know. Do you? Because it's the same. When you're excited, you scream. And when you're scared, you scream.
You think about most of your fears, most of your anxieties. Very few of them are in the right here, right now. They're usually horrible things that happened in the past that we'd like to avoid happening again in the present, or they're scary things that maybe could happen in the future, right? And we'd like to steer around it. When we end up in the deep now, when time gets shut down in a flow state, anxiety disappears. Your stress hormones flood out of your system.
I want to be a good person who's congruent and proud of myself. I want to relate with other people so there's deep, real, meaningful connections, love, and care. I want to create things that I feel like draw out my passions and make a difference. I want to grow into the best person I can. If we all have that same thing, what's the difference makers? Usually two things. Number one, did you take command? Then the other thing is community, the people that you're around.
The inner event is an experience. An experience enriches the brain. We don't see things how they are. We see things how we are. So as you begin to change your circuitry, you're going to perceive more of reality. And why? Because we probably perceive 1% of reality. So how do we begin to fully engage, right? What matters is the essence. What matters is, am I making a difference in the world? How can I begin to affect change and help people to heal or create a better life for themselves?
The most important thing is to keep the most important thing the most important thing. We all need people in our life that encourage us. We all need people in life that challenge us. We all need people in life that cheerlead for us, that help encourage us, that give us courage, right? And if you haven't found that person, be that person. Be that person for somebody else. Especially be that person for yourself.
Is when you say, I could never do that again, it would kill me to do that again. I'd rather die than do that again. Now our mind is very certain we must not go through that again. And it allows us to hold back and live a very limiting life because we told it something utterly untrue. You can go through anything. If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger.
The internal mayhem of the self-doubt, the fear, the frustration, the lack of motivation and discipline that just upsets us that we all have. But the real mayhem that really messes up people in the influencer space is the relationship mayhem.
Right? You have to believe you are capable of achieving the impossible before you can actually achieve the impossible. There's just no other way around it. Ask yourself, what kinds of impossible grand challenges would you guys go after? Would you solve in your own life? Would you try to solve in the world? If you could be 500% more productive, if you could be 600% more creative, if you could cut learning times in half. This is exactly what is available to each and every one of you today.
You take your attention off your body and you go from somebody to nobody. You take your attention off the people in your life and go from who you identify with, from someone to no one. And so many people spend their whole life building an identity of being someone. And take your attention off time, linear, thinking about the predictable future or the familiar past, and fall into the generous present moment and go from some time to no time. Then all you're left with is consciousness.
You know, like living your dreams, let's be really frank, can be scary. But you know what's scarier? Not living them.